Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Survivor Reignited. By my side, my buddy, all the way up in Washington State, MJ Duplessis. What up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. How you doing, bro?
I'm here. Awake for now. If you know, you know. But as always, I am your friendly neighborhood dad hat wearing, pro wrestling fan, reality TV loving dad hat, aka Justin, and we're on to season 4, man. We are like we're getting down the road, like, which is kind of surprising. I thought it was gonna take a little bit longer, but I mean we've knocked out the first 3 seasons, which to me were pretty big. And I'm gonna apologize, folks, because 4 is not one of my favorites, and I feel like I'm gonna complain a lot with this season.
I was.
Yeah, we'll get
It's a
there.
boring one. Doesn't really nothing happen.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing, we'll get it right from the bat. It's the first introduction the world gets to Rob Mariano, aka Boston Rob. And it's funny because the only reason he gets that nickname is because there's another Rob on the show, and New York Rob just sounded stupid. So we get Rob, aka the General, and then we get Boston Rob. But before we get going, a couple little fun facts that I just doing research into this season that I thought you would find interesting. So they dubbed this Survivor Going Back to the Beach. We haven't really been on a beach in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And I have a reason that I have a thought about why this season. Maybe you mentioned like nothing really happening, but like to me, that's on the players and maybe the production. But with the production and the way it's shot, and to me also the way it kind of looks, it almost looks like they have a much scaled down production team. To me, the quality of the recording doesn't look well, and maybe that's why with it. But like I found out, so originally this was planned to be filmed in the Arabian Peninsula, in the deserts of Jordan's, in one of the deserts of Jordan. Originally.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah.
As somebody who has had military family who's been in the Middle East, you're gonna kill people if you do that.
Yeah.
But
that changed because less than 2 months before filming was supposed to begin
the war.
9/11.
Yeah.
9/11. And so they moved production, to the South Pacific. So I mean, this whole season is very much, it's very high on, we as being wrestling fans, The Rock, Jimmy and Jey Uso, that's that Samoan
culture.
Culture. They really lean into that South Pacific like vibe with all the because these early seasons they lean into the culture of where they are. Which I love. So you get a lot of that.
I think that's one of the good things about this season that I love. I grew up with a lot of Samoans and a lot of Islanders, so I'm like, oh, this is the things they're saying and the food they're talking about. I understand and I get, and I'm like familiar with.
You're just happy that no one's drinking damn blood that just came out of something.
That cow situation last season was weird.
Yeah. You're just glad we're not doing blood at anything.
I'm going to say that fish though was.
You know what I thought they should have done for a thing, or for like it should have been. I don't know if it should have been immunity or reward. Probably immunity because it would be more at stake. They should have made them get a real tattoo, Samoan style.
Oh,
and
I've seen that done. It is actually
as someone who has a lot of tattoos, I can't imagine doing it that way.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, that would have been a cool. But I mean, not every would you get a tattoo? No, you're not gonna get that. Plus, it's gonna get really infected really quick with what they're doing.
Where they live, you can't take care of a tattoo like that.
Yeah. But Survivor Marquesas. Yeah, let's just get into it. So 16 new competitors. We're back to them like season 1, jumping off of a boat. We're back to that.
And this time they gave them really nothing. Like that was you guys are actually gonna survive.
Yeah, this is the start of getting nothing. They give them 2 machetes, 2 cooking pots, 2 empty water containers, 1 frying pan, 1 fillet knife, and a magnifying glass. Like that's it. Compared to like as you're gonna see like in seasons, it's gonna slowly dwindle. There's times where there's gonna be a season where he literally says, "Look, you know what you get? Nothing. You get nothing. You don't get a knife. You don't get a pot. Like you get squat." And that's kind of, yeah.
Kind of fucks with that, actually.
I mean, that's kind of fucked up. I mean, my thing is like they should at least provide them with fresh, clean water. I feel like that's the one non-negotiable. Like you kind of have to have water to live. I feel like that should be the one non-negotiable.
You would think.
You would think. But that doesn't make great television. So they're divided into 2 tribes of 8.
I love the tribe names.
Yeah. So you get Mara Amu, which is Tahitian for wind. And
Rotu.
Then Rotu, Tahitian for rain. We're in blue. So they have to, jumping off a boat, paddling in to their beaches. Rotu was having a rough time. It's that current and everything. Like they weren't really moving that far. Mara Amu, though, from the get-go, because again, they're aware of the game at this point. I think we're starting to really get past that. It's really about survival skills, and you start noticing in this season a lot of people who are like, "I'm here to survive," and there are people who are here, "No, fuck that, I'm here to play a game and $1 million." Like you get that we're slowly moving into the fact that more people are getting into this is a game, this is a business trip, this is to win money.
And then you have someone like Sarah who's ready for a vacation. She pissed me off right away.
Yeah. I mean, Sean puts it the best way. It's that she's Cleopatra coming, like she's sitting on the raft while everybody else is paddling to get her in.
Like first 5 minutes, I was like, I already hate this woman. She better be eliminated soon.
Yeah.
And yet.
Yeah. So with Maramu, they land on their beach. You have Sean from, New York City.
Harlem.
From Harlem.
I like Sean. Sean is one of my favorite people on this season.
So I hate to tell you, Sean never comes back. You never see him again. He was supposedly really high in the running. I don't know if it was official for season 50 or if that was just he was somebody that fans really wanted to see back.
I would have loved that because he entertained me. He was one of the few entertaining parts of the first 6 episodes. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And he continues to be. He continues to be really, really entertaining. But when he gets there, kid from Harlem making it back to dry land.
He was so happy that he survived.
So emotional. Like has a whole full-blown prayer session with Peter out in the water.
Good Christian man from Harlem. I respect that.
Yeah. But you get Boston Rob. One of the first big things you get like in a confessional with Boston Rob is him saying they either started playing the game as soon as possible or they are off their rocker. So, and it's so funny now to have seen all these seasons and seen the growth and the progression and seeing Boston Rob kind of, grow into the man that he is. 'Cause he's a kid at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, young man.
The youngest on the show at this point. They said he was like one of the 2 youngest.
Yeah, and the thickest Boston accent you have, and how it slowly dims away now. I mean, he still has it, but it's not this. He's like,
I love that the dude from Boston and the Yankee fan from New York become best of friends on this show.
right? Both named Rob.
No, I'm talking about Sean.
Oh, Sean. I was
Yeah,
thinking the general, but
no, but Sean
General's
and
the other tribe.
yeah, but yeah,
So of course, fire, as always, is a big deal. Fire is a huge deal. Um, but when they get there, both tribes, kind of cloudy, can't can't really get the direct sunlight. Um, they tried doing it with, like, at least over at row 2, they tried doing it with friction. That doesn't do anything. Um, Kathy is 1,000% on board with getting fire because I mean, as Jeff says at the start of every season, fire in this game represents your life, and that's both your torch getting snuffed or not, but also to live, like boiling water and being able to cook things. Like, you have to have fire, protection, warmth. Um, what are your thoughts on Kathy here in this first couple episodes?
Moms is over. She's a mom. She's very overbearing and she's controlling, and it's. I was waiting for her to either get cussed out at or backslapped multiple times.
Yeah, yeah, she's a little abrasive coming, like, from the get go, like from the very very get go. She's very abrasive. Um, she like I've grown to really like Kathy. Like,
Yeah, I mean, she did, and she's grown on me in these first 6 episodes. But yeah, that first episode or two, I was just like, "Oh, okay, you're not don't have to be motherly like that strict mother type 24/7."
I don't know if it's in
You're
one of these
growing.
episodes, or I think it's in one of these first 3 episodes where she literally tells them, she's like, "Look, I'm gonna show y'all how to do it, so y'all be quiet and listen, so I can tell you
Yeah,
exactly how to do it." Like
yeah,
about how to, like, gather the food and everything.
yeah.
But
And I'm
yeah,
just like, "Oh, they're grown ass adults. Why are we talking to them like they're 9? What the fuck's happening?"
she does have kids, but I mean, I think she's got, if I remember correctly, she's got like an older one and then like a younger one. So I mean, she did, like, for me, I mean, with my 2 little ones and everything, they're not that far apart.
Yeah,
Like, it's not like me being like, all right, I'm having a conversation with a teenager and then I'm having a conversation with, like, a kindergartner. Like, it's not
yeah.
that. Um, you know, the annoyance with Kathy is definitely there. Um, in terms of over at Maramu, you start seeing Hunter, who's, like, a little bit older, but not like elderly. He's fit. He was military, I
Yeah,
believe.
it was.
Kind of starting to take on that leadership role.
Yeah.
So to this day, I never understand, like, watching these older seasons. You don't go in trying to be a fucking leader. You will get voted off early.
Yeah.
Like,
Facts.
you have to be able to assimilate into a group setting, not be the one trying to call the
Control
shots.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh, and you like as soon as he becomes, you hear Rob and Sean like, okay,
yeah,
what get this man out of here?
yeah. But Maramu do get fire because Peter, and he says it's because of yoga and his ability to, sustain long breaths to provide oxygen to it. Um,
Him and Gabriel are some quackadoos.
Hey, I like Gabriel. I would have liked to seen Gabriel come back at some point, but also see Gabriel go longer here. Um, I think
He seemed like a good kid, but like he was not giving a fuck about the actual game part at all.
no, but I do think he would, as if we would have gotten a little, like, with Gabriel and everything. Like, spoiler, folks, this season is really old, so I can go ahead and say it. Like, Gabriel is not the winner of the season, but, like, I think you could have seen him make a major run with individual immunity if
Yeah.
we'd gotten there. But um, we also get a little flirtation, get a little bit of, hey, with Rob and Sarah, which is funny because we know Boston Rob is on All Stars. His wife that he meets is on All Stars. You know that she watched this season, and it's surprising that she didn't go. You did the same. Your flirtation was the same thing you did in your season early on. Like, fuck you. Like, I'm not falling for this, but yet it doesn't happen, which I think is very ironic. And
but it worked out in the end.
It
I mean,
does.
how long have they been together?
We're about to be in season 49, and that they were together in season 8. So, and they do 2 seasons a year. So,
20 years?
Yeah, and multiple kids. So, yes, but at the same time, it's like
it's really funny.
She should have just been like, you would expect her to be like, I saw what you did the same move in the first couple episodes of your season.
Boston Rob's got game. Salute to him.
It's that Boston, that Boston accent. He's got to go down to the harbor. He's gonna park at the Target, go to the harbor. Park his car at the harbor and walk across the street to the Target.
Oh, we're gonna clip that.
Yeah, he's probably got that smart park that you can get for the car that he parks at the harbor to walk across the street to the Target. I've broken Michael.
That was great.
That's my favorite. Again, have a theater degree. Did a lot of stuff with voiceover work and dialects. The Boston accent is my favorite because it's
every time you pull it out, I love it.
Yeah.
I love every time you pull this out.
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite one to do. Which is so random because I have anytime I'm working on a production team for a play and there's I kind of want to set it somewhere and we get some dialect work. If it's something that's not super specified, and I will throw out Boston even if it makes no sense. And I'm like, come on. And they're like, it just makes no sense for it to be in Boston. And I'm like, but it would be so much fun.
Oh, that's so good.
I even tried one time to convince somebody to make A Christmas Carol set in Boston. There goes, there's Bob Cratchit. Yeah, it's Bob Cratchit. Yeah.
We're not even done with episode 1 yet. That's funny.
DadHat's tired, ladies and gentlemen. So you get kooky, DadHat, today. Because I've had a long week at work. Anyway, we get the flirtation between Rob and Sarah. Row 2, to me, this is probably one of the coolest things. They found a waterfall.
That waterfall was nice. That was a cool
Beautiful.
waterfall. I was in love. I was like, oh, that's
what I would want on my camp. I would want that. Because here's the thing. It's one of those things there's your supply of water.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. But with the waterfall, because it's not one, it's clearly one that you can stand under.
Yeah.
It's going to help with your mental state too, because the dirtier you get, at least standing underneath that, it tricks your brain into thinking, okay, I'm taking a shower.
Absolutely.
So that would kind of, help a little bit. So they're fine. Successes in one camp are different than the successes in another camp. Yeah. Maramu finds grapefruit trees. Boston Rob swears he hears chickens and roosters crowing at camp.
Running after those chickens was hilarious.
Yeah.
And he never caught one, by the way.
No, he does not. But again, it's looking at those that are there to play for money and those that are trying to come to quote unquote survive. Hunter Hunter being the adult pulling the kid Boston Rob aside and trying to be let's look at priorities right now. Let's get established. Let's get shelter. Let's get water supply. Let's get fire. Hunting for chicken and food can come, but it's not right this second.
And it never comes again. They drop the chicken thing so quickly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's they probably were this is day 1, 2, and 3 when we have the most energy and the most food on our stomach from the get-go because we came into it fed. If we can't catch them now, we're not catching them later.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hunter tries to talk Rob into priorities. With Rotu, John and Kathy argue about the fire situation. But John feels bad and is like, I'm gonna try to start fire with her. But him and Zoe actually end up being the one.
She motherly manipulated that man's brain, and I kind of fucking respect it.
He did. Yes, he does. John is not one of my favorites. Like John
He's a dick.
He's kind of a dick.
Like I from the get go, I was like, oh, this guy's kind of not a nice person.
Like there's differences. There are people that come in and say look, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna play hard, and they lean more on that villain side of Survivor. And then you get people who are just dicks and assholes.
He talks down to people. He treats people. Yeah, no, he's just not a good human being.
Let's see. Maramu finally finds a water source. And Peter thinks that he's working too hard, so he decides to take a break. I don't know. Peter just kind of irks me in this episode. A lot of this cast irks me.
He irked a lot of people this first episode because
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to that challenge.
As always, immunity kind of tends to be something with fire for the first get go. In this immunity challenge, each tribe has outrigger canoes and 2 torches. The teams have to run down the beach and swim back with it to a walk where they've got to light the walks or light their torches, and then come back to the beach, lighting 4 torches along the way. Then they get back to the shore. They've got to sprint along the shore, lighting even more torches, get the canoe back on its stand, and light the final torch. So it's a lot. It's relay race, but it's part water, part on land. You can tell it wears on them.
Rotu dominated this, right away.
Maramu, they were first to that walk, but they couldn't get the damn torches lit. And then that's when Rotu kind of took over, and they dominated and took it. So Rotu is your winner. Maramu is going straight to the first travel cancel, which we get, their conversations, and you get Peter who, there's always that one. I got to keep the tribe. Let's keep the tribe as strong as possible. Let's keep the tribe as strong as possible. And, and then you got someone like Gina who she's like, look, I'm going to vote the way I want. No one's going to dictate what my voice and my vote is.
Respect the Gina for that too, because I was like, yeah, she could have buckled, but she's stayed strong until she couldn't.
Sean, of course, kind of thinking the same way. He wants more males on the tribe to keep it strong, which I'm just like, dude, there are some seasons where your women dominate the males in terms of strength.
Yeah. Happens in every show.
Yeah, and Sean wants to vote out Sarah quickly,
so he can get rid of Rob's
distraction.
Yeah.
So first tribal council, it's one of those where look, there's no clear alliances yet. Voting is a little bit, up in the air. But they do come together, and Peter is gone. Back to Peter. So he wasn't really memorable. He didn't really do anything. I mean,
yeah. Rubbed a few people the wrong way. And
yeah. This has never happened, and I really have said this forever. They should do a Survivor season where every one of the contestants is
the first one.
The first people voted off.
God, that'd be entertaining as hell.
Yeah. Because they have no idea about what happens after those first 3 days. Like, it's
that would be so good.
I think we're past that point now because there's been so many seasons. Like, you could have had, Sonia from the first one. She's unfortunately passed. Yeah. You could have Deb, come back. She's older though now. Like, I think we're past that point of
doing it. But
yeah,
that would have been a great idea.
Yeah, I've said that for years. So we get to see episode 2. Rotu's bonding and becoming kind of like a little family. You know, they're very much in peace and harmony, and they're doing massage lines. The only one that's kind of on the outs is Kathy still. She kind of, you know, they say that she alienates herself because she sleeps by herself, but then later, you know, she's complaining that she just didn't have room in the shelter, and they were like, "We can move, we can make room." Um, the general, you know, he's struggling physically, talking about how he just a lack of food.
Yeah, that
Um,
lack of protein is getting to the big man.
yeah, and they try. They're making fishing, you know, fishing traps and snares and things like that. Try to catch a pig or try to catch, you know, fish out in the ocean.
You get the most entertaining part of the season in this episode, the debut.
Of the morning show.
Fucking love this.
The morning show. Yeah. Like it's, and I would put money on it that it was Boston Rob's idea. He's trying to bring
Oh,
that humor.
absolutely.
Like, you know, you get a cooking segment, you get, and part of it too is because they made fun of Hunter, like talking about the weather and like the human barometer, like
Yeah.
it's gonna be 87 degrees with a dew point of like, which he gives off like weatherman mentality, like so
Very
much.
strong.
Yeah. Sorry, Hunter, Mr. Weatherman. But yeah, Boston Rob kind of
The sports, the food segment, like
yeah.
so good, so
Yeah.
entertaining.
Why not? You ain't got nothing else. Like,
I'm shocked something like this did not happen in the first 3 seasons.
yeah.
Because you're just sitting there bored in between like doing stuff for the show. Like I would fucking do that too. Let's just make ourselves crack up.
Mm-hmm. You do have at Maramu, you've got, you know, Patricia, or as they call her, Mama.
Yeah.
She's the older woman. You know, she's starting to step up in camp. She's starting to work a little bit more. She's like,
Realizing she can't boss people around.
yeah.
She
I mean,
actually have to participate.
yeah. John is very much, you know, John's over at Rotu. You know, he's very much like, look, I'm going to be high on this pecking order. I'm going to I'm going to I'm going to make sure that I am in a position of leadership or a position
Yeah.
of power. So he's, you know, he's catching shrimp. But then immediately Kathy's like, look what I did. And like, this is where she kind of like, I'm going to show you how to do it. Like, and she talks down to him like a mother. And she finds all these crustaceans and shellfish and stuff like that, which cool.
I kind of wish Kathy and Patricia would have been on the same tribe just to see who was going to be the more motherly of the two. I feel like that, like,
Man, I feel like they would have probably butted heads. They're both very,
I feel like
very
that would have
loud.
been made fucking great television.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think Patricia's like, look, I don't know if I'm going to last that long, so I need to at least try to extend my life as much further into the game as I can. But yeah, so John's kind of, I'm going to be the provider is dashed very, very quickly. You get Sean and Sean. I mean, Vesepia, or they start calling her V. Sean and her bond, and you get a lot of, you know, because they bond over their African American culture and their background, and of course throughout the season you get some. I mean, you know, some. You know, he pulls like kind of the, you know, Sean says things in a very joking way, like call Al Sharpton now, like
Yeah.
which I love though that V says, I think because I watched part of the reunion show and that got brought up, and V talks about like, you know, everybody thought that her and Sean were in an alliance this entire time, when really they were just bonded on their experience and their life and their culture and
Yeah,
you know
what they've gone through at that point.
yeah.
Because people
So it's one of
very
those
much there's a difference.
yeah. But everybody just assumed that they were an alliance, and not just becoming friends because of their shared experience. Um, they also bond over their relationship with God and their
Yeah,
Christianity. Like that's a big thing. Um,
I think that part was a bigger aspect in this season than it had been in the first 3 episodes.
their religion. Oh yeah,
Yeah, the
like
first 3 seasons.
yeah. You have two people that are very very in tune with their religion, and are very thankful for what they're blessed with, and they praise God, and um, we just haven't had that on a season. So
Yeah.
um, Sean, people in this tribe, they see him as strong, but also kind of lazy, you
Yeah.
know, with his work around camp. Um, the rest of the tribe also sees, the canoodling and the relationship with Rob and Sarah. Um, and Hunter straight up says, like, I want to get rid of Sarah because I think it will benefit me by getting somebody, aka Boston Rob's, focus and attention back to be a number and an asset to him.
Yeah.
So, um,
We get the first, or we get that reward challenge.
yes, each tribe has a boat that's anchored to the bottom of the ocean, with 250 rocks inside. They have to dive down and remove as many rocks as possible until the boat can come up to the surface and actually float. Then they got to bail out enough water as they determine necessary and get the boat to the beach. Um, and they start getting some supplies. It's fishing gear, so masks, snorkels, fins, stuff to start trying to get some actual food.
Yeah, which is weird because I can't remember seeing anyone use that
Yeah,
afterwards.
I think once. I think it comes back once in a later episode. Like
Was
they're
like,
just like, you know what? I ain't going swimming in the ocean and deep sea fish diving. We got all these crustaceans and all of these crabs. Like we'll just knock that out. And there's fruit. That there's that one camp and all that I ever see them eat is fruit.
yeah,
Which to me,
delicious looking fruit.
I mean, it's fresh as hell.
Yeah.
But for me, it's weird because like I love fruit, but most of the fruit I eat comes out of the fridge. Like if I'm gonna eat like say watermelon, it's cold. If it's cantaloupe, it's cold. If an apple, it comes out of the fridge. Like so, I'm just like room temperature fruit just doesn't do it for me.
Mm.
I would eat it if I was there. Like I'd rather be. Cause I'm not a like that's the other thing. I would probably come back skinny as hell if I did Survivor because I'm not a big fish eater. Like I am not a seafood. Seafood is not my thing. It's a texture thing. Always has been. Like there's even deep fried is not. I'm not a big fan of seafood. So I'd be like, cool, just give me the fruit. Just keep. I'll take that. Y'all can keep unless it's chicken or we go back to Africa and you let me kill one of those cows. Like, but yeah. So Bariamu is of course down. One because they lost their first person in episode 1. Rotu, the way they did that, they decided to go down in groups. They finally sent a group down to try to flip the boat instead of just taking the rocks out. It worked and it made them come to the surface. Mariamu kind of followed Rotu's lead to do that. Also getting their boat to the surface. Rotu gets the advantage, and they get their second win straight. So Rotu's on a winning streak.
A very strong winning streak.
Yeah, they're very strong. They're united. They're for the most part, and because there's really only I'm gonna say 1 to 4 people in that tribe that are there to play the game.
Yeah.
One in particular, and that'd be John. We get back to Maramu, and Sarah complains about the shelter, but no one pays her any attention because she's not willing to really put in the work to help. We get the immunity challenge. They have to bob for fafaru, which is marinated fish bones, crab and lobster legs that has been marinated in seawater and the sun.
Yeah,
Um,
that fish.
and you've got flies all over it. This challenge.
This is probably the most disturbing food challenge we have had in the 4 seasons we've watched.
I would again, not it's a texture thing. I would gag and throw up with this.
I like fish, so that wasn't the problem. I have an issue watching people gag, so I wasn't liking this episode because of
Jeff's
watching.
like, let's make it interesting. Let's bob for it, and it's like,
Yeah.
Jeff, why are you being a dick?
Like watching Boston Rob gag over and over again over some fish was making me very uncomfortable, and I almost messaged you like, "This is gross." This is because it hurt my gag reflex.
I mean, it's disgusting. It's I don't know what I would do better in or what I would prefer to do, this or the drinking blood, but yeah, like ugh. That's all I'm gonna say. And it seems like with every food challenge, we get the same thing that happens. Everybody gets through that first round,
And then
we get a tie, and then the other tribe has to pick somebody else. And
pick the weakest link.
Oh no, readjusting my light. And so Rotu chooses Boston Rob. Maramu picks Nalia. Rob throws his up. So again, Rotu again, third challenge in a row comes out. Maramu's going back tribal council for the second time. Sarah admits that she's doing less work because she's trying to conserve energy for challenges. And Gina jumps on that, responds that she's got to pick up the slack and she's got to start showing some effort and working in camp. Because she's twice as tired in challenges because she's picking up Sarah's lack of work. Sarah does get some votes at tribal, but she's in an alliance with Vesepia and Sean and Rob, and that's 4 strong right there. So Patricia, aka Mama, is gone from the tribe, being that they saw her as the quote unquote weakest link.
You know what I just realized? They have not brought up or the tie situation in case of a tie with the votes from other tribal councilors. Is that still a thing in this season, or?
So this is where the game starts to kind of change rules and change some different things. Like there's going to be talk of a tie because you're only on episode 6 or just got 6. There's talk of a tie later on, like before they do a vote, and Jeff pretty much says he's like, I don't remember us ever talking about what we do, and because I think that somebody, whoever's being voted as was going to be the one that was part of the tie, because they knew it was going to come down to a tie, was like, I told them to vote for me. I feel comfortable doing the questions, and Jeff just straight up says, I don't believe we've talked about how we're going to decide a tie at this point. So they're changing things, one, to keep the game fresh, but also to keep the survivors like, you can't predict this game. Just like in Big Brother, expect the unexpected. Like, can't expect what happened in previous seasons to be the same thing that happens.
Yeah. Okay. I was just wondering. I was like, it just clicked in my head. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So Jeff starts being a little, vague with things.
I like that shit.
Yeah. So we get to episode 3.
Oh, we didn't know who got eliminated.
Patricia, Mama.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's
Not
done.
shocking.
No, not at all. Not at all. Episode 3, Maramu's after the vote,
Divided as fuck.
yeah, Sarah's upset about because people are saying she's not working. Arguments break out. Row 2 is taking the time because they're all, peace and harmony over there. They're trying to like do things like, look, we're showing dominance. Like we've got the time now. Like let's repair the shelter. Let's get everything. It looks like we're going to be here for a while. Like let's make it this a livable place.
Yeah.
You get a relationship just like we've seen in other seasons of like an elderly gentleman and a younger female that they kind of see as like a daughter granddaughter type thing. In this case, we get Pascal, who's a Georgia judge.
Yeah,
and
Pascal seems to be the father type for everyone.
Yeah,
yeah, like he very much takes that fatherly role very strongly, and I love that.
Yeah. I like Pascal. We don't. Unfortunately, you don't ever see Pascal again. He does not come back. He says that Nalia reminds him of his 2 daughters. John.
Sometimes I forget she's part of the show because she doesn't really do much.
Yeah, you see more of her as the season continues. I mean, just like with Australia, you didn't see Amber a lot until.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, yeah. When you mentioned her name, I'm like, oh, yeah.
You've got a lot of other much stronger personalities to take up TV time.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, yeah, she just plays the background. I forget.
John steps on a sea urchin.
This episode between the sea urchin shit and the no-nos.
Oh, the no-nos would bug me. The little gnats, like that would bug me to the like all I'd be so miserable. Like,
but yeah, no, the sea urchin thing was gross.
And then, I mean, it's a thing, like sea urchins being poisonous, just like a jellyfish, like to help relieve the pain, you've got to have someone pee on it.
Yeah.
And it's something, if I remember correctly, it's something to do with like the ammonia in urine.
Yes, it's the ammonia.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of things that were like, I don't know if I can take this because you had that.
There's a lot of injuries in this episode.
That's what I'm saying. You had the no-nos, and then you had the thing with Robert.
Yeah, the general slices open his bottom of his toe. John, though, being medical field, was able to kind of assess things like, do they need to call the production medical team or not? But then after John, John has Kathy pee on his hand. Like, then he gets bitten by a damn eel.
Yeah, no, just horrible luck.
Like, I remember the first time I watched this season, I'm like, John, you're looking to get med evac. Like, you're just looking for that.
Those no-no bites look like me when I have a latex allergy and I have hives.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was like disturbing to me.
Yeah, those no-nos. Like I said, they would bug the shit out of me. Reward challenge. Each tribe has to construct and build their own raft out of bamboo and rope, but it's got to be able to hold 6 members and other supplies. The tribes have to paddle in a crisscross fashion to 5 boxes that are anchored to the bottom of the ocean. The winning tribe, it's comfort items, it's pillows, it's blankets, it's lanterns, and it's a week's worth of rice.
Here. Which, by the way, do they talk about the rice after this? I don't see them eating the rice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they do, but it's not as prominent. I think, because again, this place has probably the most easily accessible food sources of anywhere else that we've been.
Yeah, but like, I find it funny that like we focus on one thing for like 5 minutes and then you don't hear about it like again, and it's really funny.
Jeff Probst and the Survivor production team, they're being like drug dealers. Here's a week's worth of. Here's a taste.
Yeah.
Like here's just a taste. Um, Tribes were kind of even more on this one, and collided in the middle of it. But then, as we've seen in other episode or other challenges, Mariamu starts having issues. They can't get their boxes unhooked, and Rotu starts back to the finish line.
Dominating.
Oh, that's right. That's sorry. That's why what it was is they got comfort items or a week's worth of rice.
Yeah.
So they choose the comfort items instead of the rice. That's why.
Okay, now that does make sense.
That's why. So they're 0-4. Mariamu. For the immunity challenge, you got to get 3 coconuts through a puzzle maze. They have to use pulleys to raise and lower the platform. One person will guide the coconut through the maze, and each time one falls in the hole, the collar must be switched. Not my favorite challenge. Like, it kind of seemed like it was all over the place. Like, I almost felt like even they were like, wait, what are we doing?
Confused. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, Rotu won, and
Yep. Rotu, again, 3rd straight immunity. Mariamu is starting to be one of the worst tribes ever. You got Hunter and Gina, and they're trying to target Sean, but Hunter tells that to Rob, but Rob is wanting power himself and wanting to be in control. Boston Rob,
puppet master shit.
Very much. He's Godfather. I mean, he's trying to be the man behind the decisions. Like, I'm not going to be like Hunter and be the leader, but I'm going to be the leader behind the scenes and
super puppet master shit.
Yeah. Boston Rob, I don't know if you ever watched The Traders. He's on.
No, but I hear I need to.
It's great. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
I watched a clip the other day where he was talking to Derek from Big Brother.
Yeah. They're on season 3.
And they eliminated each other, or Derek eliminated him, and then Boston game. Yeah, but I saw a little.
Somebody Danielle from season like 2 or 3 of Big Brother is on there, and was it's like, how do you take out a Godfather, a mafia man, talking about Boston Rob. I mean, that's exactly what he does. Like, that's his big strategy. He's very much like I'm going to be leading the charge, but I'm going to be making you think that you're making the decisions, but you're you're doing my agenda that I want. He knows how to say the right thing. He knows how to put human chess. He knows how to put the pieces where they need to go.
I love Danielle from Big Brother.
Yeah.
Underrated player.
Sarah again gets 2 more votes, but they pulled it out and Hunter was gone. So they voted out probably one of their strongest competitors.
Which was
physically.
I get it, but also like really, really stupid.
Very, especially because they're they haven't won a damn challenge at all. But yeah. So that's where we are. We have 3 gone. We have Peter, we have Patricia, and we have Hunter. What are your thoughts so far on who's left and what we get, where we're heading?
At this point, I'm like, all right, Boston Rob is a fucking genius.
Mm-hmm.
Sean is again the mastermind sidekick.
Yeah,
which I love. And I'm like, just as a fan aspect, I love Pascal.
Yeah,
like, sweet old man.
He has the most heartwarming moment.
Yeah,
I feel like in this season, and you're going to see it. All I'm going to say is when he wins a reward, and and something that Jeff says to him, and his immediate reaction. It's probably the most heartwarming. It made me excited. Like, every time I see it, I'm like, he's just, it's just it's a good moment. You'll get there. Well, that's where we're going to end off on this episode. But before we do, Mike, let them know where they can find you. What you got going on?
Marquesas on all social medias. Every Monday night, Netflix and Raw, live stream Monday Night Raw. With me, Pro Wrestling Wizard Doug, and the Ring Queen Michaela. You can also catch me Inner Circle with Wheels. I will be filming episode 3 here soon, I promise. Go back and watch episodes one where I interviewed my brother Marv 1, and episode 2 where I interviewed my brother Stewie Newton. Once us 3 get lives unbusy, Queen's Court, we do have stuff in the talks. I know it's been a while, people, but life happens. And then shameless plug, I will be taking over Cole TV every other Thursday for learning the ropes as B-Roll and XOJ take a step back because they have lifing right now.
Yeah, life is lifing. Life is lifing. Well, if I'm off on a Thursday and you need me, just let me know.
Oh, I will definitely hit you up about some episodes.
Yeah, it all depends on if I'm working and if the children are down. That's my life. Work and kids and work.
Yeah.
At some point, I'm gonna be able to actually spend 5 minutes alone and actually have a conversation with my wife uninterrupted. Maybe it won't happen until they're 18, but eventually that's gonna happen. Like at some point. You can find me, DadHat Wrestling, all social media. World Championship Wreckage also on all social medias. For this, look up Survivor Reignited. We have our own TikTok. We post clips from here from each episode. We post clips from Survivor, with questions. Like posted one not too long ago. Was Africa the most harsh environment? The stuff from Australian Outback blew up like crazy. Like one video got us like 300 damn followers. Yeah. So please go find all those. Hit all our buttons. Yeah, all those things. So we're gonna wrap it up here, and we'll be back next time to discuss episodes 4 through 6 as we get further into the Marquesas. Later, y'all.